oh, the Elizabeth Livingston, the writer of the film, only had Rik Mayall in mind.
Right.
And then a couple of paragraphs later, it's like, oh yeah, Elizabeth Livingston only had John Cleese in mind.
Right.
And then a couple of paragraphs later, oh yeah, Elizabeth Livingston, she only had Robin Williams in mind.
Right.
Which makes me go, well, which one is it?
Yeah.
He obviously was... No, I'm not going to say obviously. Obviously is the wrong word. He was known for things like Young Ones, a lot of short films. I can't remember what they're called. There was comic strip.
Oh yes, yeah, comic strip presents.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They were quite well known, and originally this film was going to be filmed in England,
right?
And it was going to be an English film, but they decided that they wanted to make it in America, so that it would get a bit of a wider spread theatrically. And yeah, it didn't go down well.
No.
This was not well received. This is one of those films that is like, oh, it's the worst film, which is strange.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really have a very well defined genre, because it's a sort of quite a grown up storyline. If you take away the imaginary friend thing, it's a kind of, romantic comedy drama sort of thing, right?
Nobody can see me, but I'm currently stroking my beard.
Matt's
with
pensively
deep thought.
Stroking his chin.
Yes. I'm just sort of like, I'm working those words out.
It doesn't really give me a great vote of confidence with what I'm saying, but I'm going to carry on. But yeah, seriously, if it's about a woman who has lost everything, and is trying to win back her husband. It's an adult storyline. And then you've got... I'm not finished. And then you've got this zany, anarchic, crazy character who is introduced, and flashbacks to the childhood, even the flashbacks to childhood, her sad, tragic childhood where her mother didn't love her, and tried to control her.
Oh, that mum is a dick.
Oh, it really breaks my heart.
But then also I get it. She just wants perfection for her daughter.
Well, it's a bit much, isn't it?
It is a bit
much.
But
anyway, so it's a confusing genre, because who is this film for?
Yes, I think it's definitely for the younger adult. But also, yeah, it does deal with more, let's say, mature
themes. Yeah.
Yeah, but even I don't know. Because
it's very, very childish humour.
It's childish to the top of the hill.
It is indeed.
I'm gonna make.
I'm back down again. Yeah. So who is it for? I think that's probably the issue with this film.
My issue with this film, though, is that I remember this being like everybody loved it.
Right.
And anytime anybody mentions Drop Dead Fred, it's always, oh, I love that film, or love that film. I didn't love this film that much.
Right.
I don't think it's... No. It's a bit of a mess.
You can't decide, can you?
No. But it's really difficult. It's because I want to like it because nostalgia. But then also, having rewatched it, yes, there's parts where I laugh, but not many. And again, it's a film of two halves.
It is, yeah. I mean, I really, really laughed rewatching this film. And I was laughing in advance of things happening because I was like remembering what was to come.
I couldn't remember any of it.
And
good memory, Freya.
But I've seen this film plenty of times in the past. But then I remembered that there is a real turning point in the film where it stops being as much fun. It has this whole kind of sentimental thing, and just the whole.
It's basically when the green pills are introduced, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And, it starts becoming a bit serious.
Yeah.
Fred becomes less Fred-like.
Yeah,
and
he just becomes concerned and like, oh, SNOTFACE, you need to look at this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and it's just like, okay. It just would have been... They could have done it much better, in my opinion.
They could have done. I want to talk about Tim Matheson.
Yes. Who plays Charles.
Charles.
The horrible, horrible husband who, you know, no matter what, I could never see the character Elizabeth and him together.
No, it's a very off pairing. I mean, yeah, if what's her name? Lizzie. If Lizzie had got with Mickey, played by Ron Eldard. Mm-hmm. Sure. Who also, Ron Eldard, bad hair, lots of earrings, very 90s earrings. He was in Super 8, Sleepers, The Last Supper, which is a film we will review at some point, and also Ghost Ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that properly.
I've only really ever seen the first maybe 20 minutes and then just gone,
And that's enough.
yeah. I mean, Gabriel Byrne's awesome, but you know. Tim Matheson plays Charles.
The 90s greatest douchebag.
80s and 90s greatest douchebag. Yeah. He was in Animal House. Mm-hmm. He was the main baddie in Fletch. Oh, I love Fletch. I'm going to put this down in internet history, and everybody in the world, whoever listens to this in future reference, will turn around and go, hey, what Chevy Chase film does Matt really like? And I'm going to say Fletch.
I've not seen it.
You what? No, you must have done.
I can't remember.
It's essentially Chevy Chase promoting the... Oh, what is it? It's not the LA Lakers. Is it the LA Lakers?
No, I haven't seen it.
No, anyway, it's good. It's great.
We'll watch it.
It's a good.
It's a good.
It's a good.
It's a good.
He was also in Cannibal Fever, I think it was.
Sure.
I think it was like the third. No, I don't know. It's a cannibal film. It's a bad film. And also he played the vice president in a couple of series of The West Wing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I think when he came on screen, I basically stopped watching it.
Because he's a dickhead.
Yeah, essentially. He has never played someone nice.
Tim Matheson, we apologise profusely. I'm sure you're a lovely man, but you really play a dickhead very well.
You have basically been a dickhead for the last 40 years in my eyes. You know, I'm sorry, bruv, but...
He's an excellent actor.
Oh, yeah, he's really good at being a dickhead, but, you know. Yeah, he was just so unsuited for Lizzie. What on earth did she see in him?
Yeah, it's a really unbelievable relationship, isn't it? And you know, no...
A lot of this film is. Carrie Fisher, I can't remember the name of the guy. She's Murray. So, right, number one, Carrie Fisher... in this film was maybe in her 30s. Mm-hmm. Maybe mid-30s at the most. Mm-hmm. Okay? The dude that she's banging away, he's like in his 70s. Come on, Carrie.
Yeah, but he was probably only in his 50s because people looked older then.
What was the whole thing? What was the dating scene like in the 80s and 90s?
Well, but they weren't dating. She was having an affair. Come on.
Yeah, but... it's weird.
It was gross.
You Leia, for God's sake. You're my princess. In which I'll bring on to my next topic. Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
God rest her soul. We love her. This is one of those films where she plays the best friend.
Yes.
Carrie Fisher, after Star Wars, not just Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, I should say, she just started to kind of not do as many films. She became more of a ghostwriter or a screenwriter. She did Postcards from the Edge. She did a lot of did a lot of dialogue for. Oh, there's quite a few films. She did dialogue for a lot of Rob Reiner films. So she played the best friend in When Harry Met Sally. I wish she'd done more. In fact, this is what Drop Dead Fred is. This film is a film where everybody in it could have done more.
Yeah.
They didn't. None of them ever really reached their full potential. Sad to say, you know. Rik Mayall didn't really go on to become a comedic genius that he should have been.
Yeah, I mean, not as much recognition as he deserved.
Exactly.
I think one of his last roles was in, is it Man Down? I never really watched it, but it was a British comedy series.
No idea.
That he
The
was-
only thing the last kind of thing, apart from like Jonathan Creek, was he was supposed to be the poltergeist in the Harry Potter films. Peeves.
Peeves, yeah. He
Scenes deleted.
yeah, deleted scenes.
You see him
which
in
is
one little bit, but
such a shame.
Peeves
because-
was a really good character.
Yeah, and quite important in the books, and
Yep.
just completely left out of the films, which is terrible.
Yeah, no, Rik Mayall didn't reach his full potential, which is really, really sad. Phoebe Cates never really reached her full potential. You know, Tim Matheson never became the ultimate dickhead.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, this film. Even Bridget Fonda. Bridget Fonda plays Annabella.
Yeah, very,
And she was
such a
another
minor role,
actress who didn't reach her full potential. She did it's like Single White Female. Last week we spoke about Evil Dead, not Evil Dead, Army of Darkness. She was in a really, really good action film called Assassin. I think it's Luc Besson. It's really, really good. I strongly recommend that everybody watch that film. It's one of those, I think it's like 1993. It's a really good action film. But she just stopped making films. I think she married, what's Tim Burton's musician guy? Danny Elfman. Yeah, she married him.
Tim
the
Burton's
bongo guy.
musician.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Wingo. Yeah.
If I say Tim Burton actor, you say...
Johnny Depp.
If I say Tim Burton actress, you say...
Helena Bonham Carter.
If I say Tim Burton musician, you say...
Danny Elfman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just word association, you know. But yeah, this is a film which I think it could have done more.
Definitely. And you know, it just kind of loses steam. But all I'll say is, if you've seen it, if you're a fan of The Young Ones, Bottom, you know, Rik Mayall in general, give it another watch. It really, really made me laugh. And I would watch it again. I definitely would watch it again in, you know, another 5 years maybe.
I disagree. I say keep to the nostalgia. It's that bit better.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. What is your favourite scene? We have rambled on a lot. What's your favourite scene?
We've rambled on, not really said a great deal about the film.
No.
My favourite scene, and this is one of the scenes that I was laughing to myself before it happened. It's when Lizzie goes to the wine party.
Sure.
And
With Bridget Fonda.
That's where you see Bridget Fonda, yeah.
Bridget Fonda.
But the reason it's my favourite scene is because it has one of the funniest moments in it for me. Drop Dead Fred is with her, all dressed up weirdly, fancy, with his hair all bouffant.
That is good hair, I might
It's
add.
very, very impressive hair. And there are muscular waiters carrying trays of canapes, and they're dressed in sort of togas fastened by a bunch of grapes. And Lizzie takes a grape from the tray, and Fred takes the grape from the toga, which obviously falls to the ground. And I just, you know, I'm such a child, that just really, really makes me laugh. And then there's also the other bit where Fred is looking for Charles in the party, and he's scooting along the floor on his back, and he comes to Annabella, Bridget Fonda. And looks up her skirt and says, "No panties! No panties!" And it's so, this is, you know, I'm such a child. I find farts funny. I'm sorry. You know.
You know what? You are such a child. I get it.
What's your favourite scene?
It's the first time that you see Drop Dead Fred properly with older Phoebe Cates, you know, which that just seems so funny, and that's the bit which really kind of sticks out in my mind. And like, if I wanted to think about Drop Dead Fred, that's the scene that I think about. And it's like sliding down the banister and like hits his nuts on the beam, and it's like, who put this there? You know, I just think it's all kind of funny and sweet.
It is, yeah. I must also mention briefly, before we go on to our favourite lines, the little girl who plays the young Elizabeth is so cute and so good in this.
unlike the little girl at the end of the film
Who's
who
just
plays
horrifying.
Mickey's daughter, Ron Eldard,
Yeah.
she looks the